Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to IRL Season 9 F1T Round 4 at Monaco. I am your commentator, IRL Neon. I have returned. I wasn't here last week, where Kevin and Tom Joel did comms, as Kevin was the main commentator, Tom was the backup, and I will say thank you for that. And I am joined by Kevin in the comms booth, but I think he is getting the tweet ready and all that.
Well, it's pretty much already out, Jared, so yeah. As you said, obviously today it's Monaco. Not really going to be any, or very many, overtaking opportunities here today. Of course, Sundervault Turn 1 going to be the most likely place that we'll see overtakes. People really going to have to be late on the brakes if they want to be making any moves, especially with the hairpin down at Turn 6 or 7, I think it is. I'll have a look at that to make sure that I'm right for later. As far as I know, it is Turn 6, the hairpin. And also the chicane certainly overtakes possible through there, but again, you kind of need to be side by side to make a clean overtake, otherwise there's a lot of risk as it comes with Monaco, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of risky moves happening today.
I'm sure we will, as we're on board with Matthew right now, who's on a flying lap. Maybe annoyed a little bit by the Red Bull, by the dirty air, but you can't really do much, and Matthew isn't a fan of this track, and it's the first time he's actually doing it at night. He's mainly done it in day. With him on no light, it's going to be very interesting. Will his braking points be the same? Let's see what this alien can do, you know. Matthew really picked up the pace, and Rocco's been challenging him a lot better than anyone, and he's already invalidated already, so Matthew has had an issue this season on this game with invalidating his lap times. And could he invalidate his lap times today, or will he crash into the wall? Only time will tell, as we know he is. Sometimes he does crash around at Monaco, but hopefully he doesn't and has a good race today, as we'll go on board with Logan then, who's, I believe he raced at Russia. And let's see what his lap time is. He's actually catching up.
He did indeed race at Russia, and he did do quite well. As far as I remember, he was with the Williams or just off that train. So yeah, we could be seeing good things from him, especially with his whole podium back in Baku. Certainly has an outside chance. As a few people setting times as I'm not sure of the actual name of P1, if you know.
Jeez, even I don't know. That must be a new driver then who has joined. I'll just quickly get that information up, because Brand should have actually put it on the driver lineup, but let's have a look. No, he's not on the driver lineup, but we'll call him. I don't actually know if that's actually the glitch where it shows a random PSN.
Actually, wait. Do I see? No, this is an AlphaTauri. So who's an AlphaTauri?
AlphaTauri is Santa Imart. I can't say that PSN name. So, but yeah, he's on pole position right now. The guys who are meant to be in the AlphaTauri. Oh, as he hits the wall there, that's going to be a big hit. Guys who are meant to be in the AlphaTauri is Chef Fox. Oh no, he is on the list. He's from Finland.
As Matty going a second quicker than anyone else.
His real name is Santari. I legit cannot say his name.
Yeah, I'll look at it and see if I can make sense of it, and then.
It's not that his name. I can't understand it. It's just my brain. It's just not comprehending.
Yeah, no, I'll have a look at it in a second. I'm just.
Oh, there's one board Patch right now who's going through the swimming pool section where we saw in 2008 Nico Rosberg hit the wall there, very aggressive. Let's see what the McLaren do with Patrick. He's backed off his lap. A lot of people backing off, not finding the grips, not finding the pace already. As Matthews there, who got promoted last week into third place, as Pedro got a 5-second time penalty. Is that Pedro there drifting a little bit? It is Pedro. He's able to make it today, and he said he couldn't, but he made it indeed. And he will be looking for a possible another podium position, as he feels like Russia may have been robbed from him. Also Ryan in here today, who also got a 5-second penalty for the last race, which won't be any other race, hopefully, as hopefully he can make it to France, which is next week. As we'll stay on board of Pedro then, who will begin his next flying lap very shortly.
Indeed, he is coming through the penultimate corner now. You're going to want a decent exit out of this corner. Of course, the line starts quite late in this straight, so if you do have a bad exit, it doesn't have a massive effect, but people will want to be gaining time as much as they can, as he doesn't take as much curb as he possibly could have through a little kink of turn 2, and then this is turn 3. It can get pretty confusing with these little kinks, but now coming through turn 4, it's looked pretty stable for Pedro right now as a Codemasters lockup, I'll call that. as that did actually look like a lock up into the hairpin, so losing a little bit of time there through turn 7 and out of turn 8. A very crucial exit that brings you underneath the tunnel, underneath the lights as well. Even if you're here at night, there's lights to guide you through. Coming through to the chicane, and it looks like he didn't get the acceleration down as much as he possibly wanted to. Coming up to the swimming pool section, we'll see. I don't actually have the sector times up, but we'll see now. He's coming through the final few corners. He's going to be wanting to be up there. He's currently on a 9.8. I'm sure he's at least up on this time. He's going to set a 9.5. Goes about 2-3 tenths quicker.
That's good on medium tyres, because everybody else, the only higher medium runner is Lewis Curtis. Now Logan has let us know that the gear settings are apparently wrong for him, because we have to allow for him, since his square next button for gear change is broken. So I don't know if this will be a restart after quali or within quali, because yeah, I need confirmation on that from Bran and Matthew if they are listening to stream, or unless Sandra can tell them, would be great. But right now then, as you said, Pedro's 6th place with 19590. Lewis Curtis though is showing him some promising pace. You know, guy who bottles a lot. In 4th with 9.3 on mediums. I would say the person in 3rd, Mr. Manlover, or Bran the Man, is going to have to watch out, because looks like Lewis is going to be right on his tail. And speak about Lewis, he's actually going to finish this flying lap on the soft tyres in the Alfa Romeo. And here he comes then, and one of them's obviously backed off. And Kevin, can I just have you have a quick check, pause, and have a look at the settings to make sure they actually are wrong? Because I would, but yeah.
The settings for
gears, it should be all allowed for Epic, because his controller's damaged or whatever it is. It's only for this season. As soon as he gets his new controller fixed, or when he goes back to manual. But it shouldn't be restricted.
It looks like gearbox is restricted.
Jesus. Alright. Hopefully that can get fixed. You know, let's go on board with Mr. Felix Neguar. Right now, last time he raced at Monaco, he was running for podium position, and he, unfortunately, where he's approaching now, he binned it in the wall and then got took out by Aaron, who unfortunately just hit his car, had nowhere to go, and his car didn't ghost for Felix. So let's see what Felix is. He's really struggling now on the traction in the Mercedes, on soft tyres, picking up the pace now, coming to the line, as here he comes then. Let's see what time he will do. And he does a 19728, goes 10th quickest, and hasn't really got the pace at the moment. He needs to find some more time in that Mercedes if he wants to get a good result today. As Matthew's on the lap, Kevin, right now.
I was going to mention Matthew on a lap, currently on 8.0. I'm sure he's going to be going into 0.7s especially. He's set a purple sector through to the final corner for the man in the lead of this championship as well. He's going to come up to the line, and it's just off a 7 with an 8.003, 4 milliseconds if you want to put it like that, off getting in the 7s. I'm sure we'll see him getting in the 7s later on in this quality session. Still has one more soft set, actually maybe 2 if he picked softer, so yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to get in the 7s by the end of this.
And yes, sorry, I was typing that. And Matthew, that, yep, again, 8 flats. You know, this guy has adapted already to the night. You know, with no line as well. I've got to give him credit. 8 flat, a second quicker. You know, at the moment, looks like I thought Rocco would be up here, but Rocco's in 7th place with a 9.4. So right now, Matthew is going to obliterate the grid if it stays like this then, as we're going to go on board with Mr. Patrick then, who'll be doing another run, but he backs off again, so I feel like he's going to pit. Epic, there will be a restart, don't worry, after end of quali, because we've already done midway through quali, so there's no point doing a restart now. You can do Monaco at Night Sparks. Maybe you should sign up and challenge your CRG friend, Mr. Blizzard, and see if you can actually challenge him. You know, it'd be a good way to see 2 CRG drivers fighting for a title.
100% agree with that.
So Patrick then peeled into the pits. We're going Mr. Board with Mr. BRT Faz, Pedro in the Renault, who had 2 wins last season. He hasn't had a win this season yet. He's been very close Actually, no, it wasn't last season he had a win, was it? It was the season before that.
No, I'm fairly sure he's picked up a win in the last 3 seasons at least once. Actually, no, he didn't take a win last season. He had one in season 6 for sure. That was Germany, where the wets worked out a lot better than the inters, and then in season 7, I can't quite remember, but I'm sure he did take a win there. So, well, regardless, anyway, he's going to be looking for a win to try and show his pace. At least he's going to set a 9.1. 1.1 seconds off Matthew Alder, of course. No one really able to get close to him at all. 9/10 between first and second. So Matthew very comfortable. He could really stay in the pits, save his tyres, and still probably get pole looking at this.
Yeah, well, let's go on board with his teammate who challenged him at Baku, got ahead of him. First person to actually... He did win the race on track, but officially Penn's changed that, and I think he finished in 4th in the end. But right now, though, Rocco, on a flying lap, going into the tunnel section, has got the Renault ahead.
Might be able to benefit off a little bit of slipstream, maybe, as the Renault does get out of the way. And that's Lewis Curtis setting a 7.8, so he's the first person to go into the 7s and showing that someone does have the pace to beat Matthew Alder. 2/10 between Matthew Alder and Lewis. We'll stay on board with Rocco Walsh now.
Oh,
he's going to he's going to invalidate, so he's not going to be improving at all. But Lewis Curtis showing that he can face Matthew and win. I mean, of course, he's shown his quali pace to be quite good, and he's continuing it here with that 7.8. So maybe Lewis could snatch a pole position off Matthew Alder and really cause problems for him, because track position is so crucial around here.
Oh yeah, you're correct there, but you know, Lewis is a 7.8. Are we going to see a 7 flat from Mr. Blizzard? Because he is on a lap right now. We're going to go on board with him right now. Currently in the awesome corner where Michael Marlowe and a few others crashed into an FP tier. Matthew Alder, though, doesn't do the same. He keeps the car under control. Great use of gears there. Shut shifter from 1st to 3rd. Great exit. Now he's got yellow flags ahead. That's the AlphaTauri there slowing down to let him through on the left hand side. Good sportsmanship there as we see Matthew there coming into this game very close of invalidating there. Almost got over that white line with that left tyre as he's now going through the fast left. Very close to that wall, almost touching it. Through the swimming pool section now. Nice and tidy there from Matthew, keeping it under control. Nice and tidy, putting the throttle where he needs to be. Into the final couple of corners. A bit of a lock up on the right front tyre. As goes up the 3rd, activates DRS. Let's see what time he will do. Will he do a 7 flat? Will he do a mid-7? Will he beat Lewis? He does a 7.7. 1/10 improvement there over Lewis's time, but 3/10 improvement overall. Good lap there from Matthew. Takes pole position yet again with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining off the session.
Yeah, only 0.081 between them as well. Seems like the two most likely to be fighting for this one. Doesn't look like anyone else can really get close to them. Matthews now gets demoted to 1.1 seconds behind them, as both of Lewis and Matthew improving. So unless someone can get something out of the bag, it looks like it is going to be these two a lot further away from the grid. And when it comes to strategy as well, if there's no safety car, they'll be following each other for a while into this race with no mistakes.
Goes 3rd there, 8.6.00. I'm very surprised at that. Usually you can't nail that sort of a lap, but good lap there from Bran. Moves into 3rd as Matthews there is leaving the pit lane now for his final run, as the AlphaTauri has called it a day and retired. And I think he's actually binned it somehow out of the chicane area where we saw Verstappen make a very lunge move on Lewis Hamilton in the real life Grand Prix, and unfortunately that's the AlphaTauri's qualifying session over.
Yeah, I wasn't on board with him myself either. Can't imagine how you would crash there. I guess a bit of oversteer and maybe he didn't react quick enough, but I don't know really how he couldn't save the car. Obviously, maybe his car just spun in the wrong way.
Maybe. As we'll stay on board with all. Actually, no. Ollie's actually got 2 laps worth of tyres. I think he will probably pit. We'll go on board with Red Bull then, because he was next on a outlap. If you want to go on board with BRT_Matthews on an outlap right now, but he will be beginning his flying lap very soon.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking though. Lewis Curtis is going to be the first one of these guys to actually start this lap, though. He's coming through the final corner, also on an out lap. So I think it would be better to go on board with him. He's coming into turn 1 now. Gotta take a lot of the curb and make sure you maximise the exit without touching the wall and without invalidating. He does just that. Coming into turn 3 now, he's going to go down to 4th gear to keep the car nice and stable, down to 3rd, back up to 4th for the exit. Into turn 5 now, a little bit of a lock up, but it seems to not have affected him. Going through the hairpin, such a slow corner, the slowest corner on any calendar you can possibly put together. Coming out of turn 8 now, a crucial exit because it takes you through the tunnel up to the chicane now. We'll see how he's going to be doing after the chicane. Sector 2 will be finished up, and no, he's going to actually invalidate. That's his quality over.
No, I don't think it is.
Unless he has more fuel in that car.
Yeah, he's got enough fuel. He's warning light isn't on. Usually, if he's on a quali run on his last attempt, and
so I guess we'll go with Matthews. Then he's just behind him. He might get a bit of traffic with him though, through the swimming pool section now. And it looks like Lewis is. Yeah, he actually got out of the way. I didn't even notice him on the right hand side there. But he's going to come up to the line now. He must beat Bran. You'd expect him to beat Bran, but no. 1.1 seconds off still.
Let's go on board with Felix then. He's finishing his quali run right now as he's really picking up the pace this time. He's 3.5 tenths up. He really knows he's got the pace to challenge for a decent position today. He's got a very high chance to score points as well. So let's see what Felix can do then. Oh, he hits the wall! Too early on the turn-in, and that makes a critical error. Oh, and I can't get on.
Oh, and hitting that wall, he thought an improvement wouldn't be enough, so he's going to keep that P11 to have better tyres for the race. Of course, being P11 is perfect position. Rocco crosses the line. He doesn't improve either. He's 1.7 seconds off his teammate, down in 10th. Looks like Matthews is actually going to be able to set another lap, so it's all down to Matthews to take this pole position off Matthew Alder here. He is purple in Sector 2, it looks like. So he is improving, certainly. He's coming through the final few corners now. Through the final corner of turn 19. Can he do anything to take the pole off Matthew Alder? No, he can't. He does improve a little bit, but it wasn't enough to get him higher up in the grid. He stays P4.
That's unfortunate there, but Matthew then, as we were on board with on that lap, I actually didn't know the Red Bull was on another lap. But here are your official results. Matthew yet again showing how good he is in these conditions. Swan 7.751. Lewis Curtis, a surprise performance. Second place with a 1.7.8. Closest to Matthew. And then there's just Brandon with the biggest gap of 8.5 tenths to Lewis Curtis. And basically Matthew more than 8.5 tenths actually. But Matthew's there in 4th, Pedro in 5th, so good showing for both Brazilian drivers, with Nino Romanello in 6th, with the new driver of Santi, I can't say that name, but we have Tory driver in 7th, Oliver Bell in 8th, Patrick 9th, Rocco in 10th, Felix is in a disappointing 11th, and Logan, who didn't set a qualifying, who did lose the session, hopefully he can make it back, because I know there will be a restart, or should be a restart at least. So, yeah, let's get on with the race.
Yeah, restart also means fresher tyres for the top guys, so that'll help out. If there's no safety car, they'll be able to go deeper into the race, so it means Felix's strategy of slowing down won't be as significant as of an advantage as he may have wanted that to be.
Well then, yeah, we are backing out then, so we'll just back out this lobby while Bran or Matthew makes a new lobby. Shouldn't take long. Right. Well, while we wait for the invite, we might as well talk about some standings then. So, the first 3 rounds, Matthew has had 2 wins and a disappointing Baku result with only 4 points scored to his name. The Red Bull driver of Matthew's livery in Red Bull, who's second place, actually only 4 points off Matthew Older, has had a win to his name in Baku, and had 10 points in Australia, and then another podium finish in Russia for third. So it's very good to see a Red Bull and another driver actually challenge Matthew there. Rockwell in third there with 45 points. So will he get a win today? Because it's gone from fourth, then third, then second. Will it be a win in Monaco? As we have had our invites, I believe. So we are joining now. Let's have a look at the constructors then. At the moment, Race Point got a bit of a lead with 99 points to their team name. With, it says 1 win, but they haven't been updated. I believe it should be 2 wins. But Red Bull there in second with 62 points to their name, and then Williams in third. Ryan and Joey, who've had an alright start to the season, but a few disappointing results at Australia. I'll wait for everybody to join.
I think I'm gonna have to restart my game because this game is just great.
Will you restart your game and then try and fix it quickly? Well, this time I'll make sure the gears are correct. Yes, gears are correct. And the weather looks like it's going to be light cloud in the race, so no rain. Oh, well then. People are still trying to join.
Hopefully they remember to make it on night.
Yeah, I agree. We're missing a person. Who are we missing? Reynolds here. Was it the AlphaTauri? Yes, it is. I'm thinking he's... Oh, well, we should be going soon. Oh, hopefully we are going soon, because I actually ain't got long either myself. Which, worst case scenario, it might have to cut interviews. I hope it doesn't. Have to cut interviews. Hi, Lee. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Well then, while people now start ready up, we'll get on and get ready for this race. Well then, we are now in the race lobby and we will be waiting for people to make their setups. The top 10, everyone in the top 10 qualified on softs, right?
Yeah, no one went with mediums in the end. I think Matthews did qualify on mediums to begin. No, sorry, Pedro qualified on mediums to begin with, but he switched to softs at the end.
Okay, that's fine. I could say Brand didn't make it very clear, he just told everyone to start on softs instead of people actually start on the tyres they qualified on in the top 10. But yeah, that's fine then. If you know everyone start on softs. If this race though doesn't finish by 10-2, there won't be any interviews. It's just impossible because I'll have to start getting ready for work. But we'll get ready on the formation lap and forget all about that for now. Get all the settings back up again. Yeah, that should be everything. Well then, we have Matthew on pole position with a very close person in second, Mr. Lewis Curtis. Then Brandon Glover somehow in third, Matthews in fourth. Will probably make a dive bomb on Brandon Glover. Faz in fifth, Nino Romanella sixth. Santeri, I'm going to call him, in seventh. I do apologise if that is not your name, I just can't say it. Ollie in eighth, Patrick ninth, Rocco in a disappointing 10th place, with Felix not too surprised 11th as he hasn't been on the game for a while, and Logan in 12th. It's alright, Jack. Maybe Kevin's the better com. At least me and Kev can do comms.
Santeri Martikainen.
Honestly, I'm just calling him Santeri. If it's wrong, he'll tell me, and he'll have to tell me, like, voice that what is his name, because yeah, my brain cannot do that.
Martikainen sounds right.
Martikainen,
to me.
Probably.
Martikainen.
I'll remember that.
Santeri Martikainen.
Right then, the official grid has now lined up with 12 cars in Monaco, which is Monaco, not surprising. But hopefully everyone can give us an action-packed race. Could we see Nino on pole position? Only time will tell as we see the light sequence now. 5 red lights to start the night. Monaco Grand Prix, the first night for the F1 tier. And lights out and away we're going. Looks like Lewis Curtis has had an average start, already ghosted him because of the glitch, and Lewis Curtis is going to have to defend from Bran, and Bran has somehow moved into second place. I can't believe I'm saying this. Bran in second, but Lewis is trying to come back at him, and Bran not giving Lewis any room at all there, and almost put him into the wall. As you can see, Nino and Santa Maria, all cars going all over the wall. There's wing damage, there's a racing point with wing damage. That is Rocco Walsh. Front wing damage on the right end plate there, Kevin.
Yeah, I was watching the back. It seems very clean from everyone. No one losing out with any damage or anything at the moment. Nino in the early stages getting past Santeri into turn 3, just squeezing them out on the exit and making the move stick. So 2 Ferraris, 6th and 8th, quite close together, so maybe we'll see some team strategy between them. Of course, Brandon Glover making it up into second, splitting Lewis and Matthew Alder. That's going to be crucial for Matthew to be able to get away, because Lewis would have been able to keep us, Matthew.
Yeah, that's true, but Rocco, as you said, you didn't realise Rocco actually did get wing damage, and there was a McLaren of Patrick also getting a bit of wing damage, it looks like, as well, out of turn 4. So these guys will have to go in to have their pit stops repaired, which could help them out. They could go hards or mediums. A safety car going, and there's a racing point going slowly. That is Rocco Walsh. Rocco Walsh went really slow there. Someone almost went into the back of him. I think Felix went into the back of him. Got wing damage. He's having a new front wing replaced. Going on the medium tyre and see if he can take them to the end. As right now, we're going to go on board with Lewis Curtis, who didn't like what Brandon did to him at the start. But Lewis then is looking hungry for position number 2, as they're not that far off Matthew.
Yeah, they aren't. Everyone kind of seeming just slot in into this kind of single file line, similar to what me and Tim saw in FP. That there was kind of just trains of cars that kind of get split up more and more until there's not really anything left of them. Hopefully it doesn't happen today, so Lewis is going to be right at the back of Burton and Glover. I don't think he's going to be slowing down anytime soon. He's going to be really trying to get past Burton and Glover as soon as possible. As Matthew Walder gets a 2-second gap over Brandon, already out of sight of the DRS. Of course, DRS doesn't make a massive difference, only helps you on the start-finish straight, isn't available anywhere else, as Pedro Sousa also keeping with the two guys behind, occupying the final 2 podium places, as Matthew sets another fastest lap. Of course, being in first, he's pulling away even more now. It's actually 1.8, 1.9, maybe a little mistake from him, but I'm sure he's going to continue his push as Lewis closes up even more to Brandon.
Yeah, I will say Lewis isn't really good at starts. Hasn't had a good start today, but he's just quicker than Brian. You can just see Brian is just holding a bus right now, and I'm not surprised Matthew's got a 2.2 second gap right now. But as I've said before, and I'm not being biased here, Matthew has never been the best at Monaco with the walls. Last time he raced here, he did hit the wall and didn't even get in the podium. So, and I believe he actually did qualify first as well. So it could happen again, but hopefully it doesn't. And let's see how he does as Brand there makes a bit of a lock-up. Lewis is now looking ready for an attempt, but he needs to get a bit closer. We see yellow flags. That is an AlphaTauri. No wing damage. He looks like he clipped the wall where Verstappen and Hamilton made that overtake almost on him, and I think it just spun him round. Luckily, no wing damage, but hopefully he can cool his tyre down very quickly as we go back on board with Lewis Curtis.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like out of that final corner, Lewis can't get a good enough exit, as we see there. Brandon improving to about a 5/10 gap, and now even out of turn 1 it seems that he just is doing better on the exits where it counts. And then in this middle sector now we'll see Lewis close up again, but once it comes to those exits onto those straights, the crucial ones, Lewis just can't get a good enough exit to get the jump on Brandon, which is meaning that he's getting held up, and then Pedro as well. It's just kind of backing everyone up into each other, down to P6 of Nino, second to 6, just following in a train, and Ollie Flavel obviously getting past Centauri recently. Of course, 2.6 seconds off his teammate, so maybe he'll be able to catch up to the train. Maybe if he's quicker than his teammate, they might do a switch to see if Ollie can get by anyone.
Well, I don't think Ollie's going to catch up with Nino that quickly right now, because Nino's proven that he is a bit quicker than Ollie. I'm not being harsh there, Ollie. Nino has just got the pace, but yet again, Nino hitting walls and cutting corners, not going to help his time now. That's 6-second gap. Maybe now the option is to, if Ollie does close up within a second, possibly to think about making him try and challenge the guys ahead of him. But right now, as I said, Lewis Curtis, 5/10. He is in the best strategy car right now. He could make an undercut strategy against Bran, and because he's faster currently, it doesn't look like it because he's behind him with the dirt yet, but I think Lewis' overall race pace will be faster, and I think if he undercuts, he will get P2 and hopefully hold that position.
Yeah, I'm sure Brandon's going to be enjoying being in second, being able to hold up Lewis. Of course, it's way easier compared to a track like last week, where Russia overtaking is a lot easier. Quite a few overtaking opportunities there, and a lot of space to go side by side. Here, if you're going side by side, you really need to be fully alongside. You need full respect of both drivers to have a clean battle. Bran, I'm sure, will be defending nice and hard to try and keep this P2 that he's put himself in, and he's doing quite well right now, keeping ahead of Lewis. Lewis kind of has settled in to about a 5/10 gap, can't really close up, as Brandon seems to have had a lock up in Raskas. So out of turn 19 maybe Lewis can do something, but no, that exit again, Lewis just can't get a good enough one there. He closes up into Sandevot, but just not enough.
I know what Lewis is attempting to do. I think he's trying to make Brandon make an error. Now, yeah, he may mess up that straight to make an overtake, but here where they are now is a possibly overtaking opportunity. If you can either try and get it around the outside to then what makes you go the inside of turn, I call 4, but just look at that brake right there, Bran. Or was that just my eyes just deceived me? Because that just looked, he's just literally parking the bus. Come on, Lewis, get around him. But
you can tell Lewis, I don't really think it's Bran going slowly as much as Lewis is going quicker. I think we're kind of not even noticing how much this is holding up Lewis. Of course, in quali within a tenth of Matthew right now. 5 seconds up the road is Matthew Alder.
Yeah, I've got to give him that credit. Matthew's pulled up 5 seconds. You know, I wasn't expecting anything else really. Matthew, just domination yet again. But that's what, you know, some great champions are like. You know, they can dominate a field. Matthew right now then, it looks like he's going to take another victory, but this time his first victory, I believe, his all-career in IRL at Monaco. But Lewis could possibly make a move. No, he's too far back, but he's closer. Now, nope, doesn't get enough exit. He hit the wall, it looks like that.
Yeah, I think his best overtaking opportunity is here into turn 3. If he can get a good enough exit, he closes up going into turn 1, and then he can keep it going up the straight. So maybe the hairpin or turn 3 is probably his best bet on making this overtake. Doesn't really look like he gets a good enough exit out of turn 8, which is right here, to be able to make an overtake into Nova chicane as he clips the curb as well. So that's not going to help him out as he uses a bit of overtake as well, almost under 10%. So that's not going to be nice for Brandon, sitting quite nicely on about 90% here. So Lewis trying to use everything to get past Brandon, and he just can't.
Brandon's just literally parking the bus, and it could even cost him the win. I know Brandon's probably not going to be fighting for the win, but you know, he could push, use a bit of his ERS, try and catch up to Matthew, you know, instead of parking his bus. But Lewis, as I said,
is going for an undercut. I don't know if mediums can go from here. It's going to be a stretch. Hards certainly can.
Nah, mediums can.
And it wouldn't be a bad thing if he's looking for track position. He's going to have an undercut. Mediums go on.
Aye, Shen, yeah, there's only 12 today because a lot of people didn't want to do Monaco because they just don't like the track, and I understand that, to be honest, but I still think it's a bit pathetic. But it's a shame. And
Ollie Flavel also pitting on the same lap, so he's going to come out in clean air, Lewis.
But he's on hards, interesting. Lewis surely can make those mediums just then. I took him at least, and this was the FPT, I believe I took him at least over 28, if I remember. So the mediums can go quite long. And Lewis is in clean air as well, so let's actually keep an eye on the gap to the leader then. The gap to the leader between him is 24.2 seconds. I believe to get ahead of someone you need to make it at least 22, if I'm correct. So either 22 or 18, something like that. But right now Lewis could easily get second place. Just needs to not use that much ERS, save a little bit, and then use it when he needs to. He's still got over 30%. Now I'm guessing Bran has used plenty of ERS. Will he pit?
He's gonna pit, and will Pedro follow him through? No, he's gonna actually stay out. So maybe Pedro's thinking if Brandon and Lewis come out close, they could fight a little, and then he could get an overcut on both of them.
Brandon got held up. I don't think that's going to matter though. I think he may be safe because Lewis hasn't done enough this time round. Unless he literally floors it now. He needs to get a good run.
It's going to be close.
He's got him.
Just popping out now.
Has he got him?
No, Lewis is way ahead.
Yep. That held up there just cost him so much, and that's just shown Bran. Maybe I should have pitted earlier. And Lewis then in third place now. Going to have to try and take those tires to the end.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The gap between himself and Pedro, 15 seconds now. So clearly this undercut working out quite well for him. We'll see who ends up coming out ahead. Lewis can still make a mistake here, and Pedro, of course, may be able to get out ahead of Brandon Glover despite Brandon's undercut. He's gonna have lost time from being held up in that pit lane. So keep an eye on Pedro and Matthew as well. He's still not pitting.
Yeah, Matthew, I think he doesn't really need to risk the pit. You know, he's got the pace. Yeah, he's got gap. Let's have a actually look at the gap between
Pedro stayed out with Matthew.
22 seconds. So Pedro will lose vision of Lewis, and that's 8 seconds.
He'll probably lose one to Bran as well at this point.
But Pedro could be on the quicker tyre, so Bran's going to have to also watch out for that as well, because then Pedro will be literally on his tail and trying to make the move. Which I think could work out, to be honest, and let's see what they can do. As we know, there's no rain, since it's going to be cloud. There's one board of Felix right now.
Yeah, Lewis Curtis just set the fastest lap there as well, so he's really pushing to try and get ahead of Matthew. He's going to be taking these tires to the end. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but he's going to have to try something to catch back up to Matthew, and it looks like he's doing what he has to right now. The gap now about 20 seconds, so he's almost in that window. Thereabouts. So at least come out side by side with Matthew. So you just never know. Matthew maybe stayed out a little too long.
I don't know. That gap's still pretty big. The 20-second gap on the track. Rocco's just now going down the strip. Matthew should pit now. Yeah, he
is pitting now.
So we'll
so
stay
I'm
on
sure
board
Pedro Sousa is going to follow him in.
We'll stay on board with Matthew and see how quick his stop is in the Racing Point crew.
Yeah, Pedro's following him in there. So the top two have pitted now, so I'll be going on board with Lewis anyway as he slides through at the exit of turn 16.
Yeah,
that was.
Got him. Matthew's absolutely got him.
No, it's going to be close, I think.
Nah, Matthew's got him.
No, Matthew has got him.
As I said,
another lap and he would have had it 1.3 seconds between them. Now Matthew can push on 3 laps between their tyres, so yeah.
Pedro hasn't lost that much time though to Bran. 1.4 seconds the gap is, and he's on fresh mediums. So then Matthew then retakes the lead, and actually he didn't even lose the lead. So a gap 1.5, he's been leading every single lap. Pedro then in 4th on fresh medium tyres, and as I said, the close battle we do have is actually for P10. It's actually between Felix and Logan. Let's see what Logan can do then. He didn't do a qualifying, unfortunately, since he had the gears issue. But he is catching up with Felix right now in 10th place. And he looks a lot quicker than Felix.
Yeah, equal laps on the Saurs. I wouldn't say the tyres would be slower, so maybe Logan is just responding to the hards better than Felix is able to use the grip of his mediums. Quite close between them, 7/10 of course. So we'll see how that develops. Logan, as you said, I guess he seems faster, but right now maybe kind of stabilising around 0.8 seconds between them.
As we go back on board Pedro now, Pedro's literally closed up on now Mr. Brandon Glover. And Pedro doesn't have a penalty, I don't believe, for this round. Let's have a look and see findings. Oh, bit of contact. Let's have a look. Instant 5-second penalty. Wait, no, it's 2. Yep, no 5 seconds for this race because it was applied last race since he lost his podium position. And he's looking for another. So let's see what he can do. And he's using his ERS here. Now this is interesting. He could get a good run out of tunnel and go for possible overtake. He's thinking about it. He lets Bran know that he's there. Bran just basically takes the race in line. And yeah, Bran then doing very good on his defensive. And that's what I've got to give Bran. He's very good on his defensive moves. But Pedro is very good at attacking. So let's see what the two greats can do. Pedro and Bran. As Pedro hits the wall and he's got wing damage. Has he bottled? Has he made this crucial mistake what's cost him now, attacking too early? And is it game over for there for Pedro, and will that just basically put Bran into 3rd place?
Yeah, Matthews, of course, following behind these two. This is a fight for P3. Matthews, of course, in 2nd place in the championship. He's going to want to lose as little as possible. Currently, the gap between Matthew and Matthews 4 points. So he'll be able to limit the damage if Matthews is looking for a championship this season.
What am I saying here? Ollie's just got past Nino.
Maybe that was a switch.
Nino's in trouble. Why is he slow? He's really struggling now because now the AlphaTauri's right on his tail. Oh, and there's contact there. He hits the wall. Wasn't with the AlphaTauri. He just hit the wall himself, touched it. But both Ferraris...
Actually, looking at their tyres, it looks like maybe Ollie undercut his teammate because Ollie's the one with...
No, he didn't jump him. I checked the pit. When I watched Ollie come out the pits, he didn't jump him. Nino was still ahead. So he only just overtakes, so I just watched it pop up. So Nino must have an issue or something. Oh, here comes Santi Marino. He just dives it into the chicane. And that will be a 3-second there for Nino. Probably will be removed because that was completely very late there from the AlphaTauri there, making that dive. But we saw some action there which could have ended completely ugly for both drivers.
Yeah, very easily. Look at Nino, he's actually kind of going slow now. Doesn't look like that's because of wing damage, just I guess a little flustered from the overtaking maneuver that That's Santeri just did on him. He's going to go down the inside of Sandoval. He's going to squeeze him out in the exit, and he's Nino's hit the wall on the exit, trying to go side by side at the exit.
I don't think he hit him. I think
turn 1.
The Avatory guy just put him into the wall on my screen. Now, I'm not sticking up for Nino there, but that was completely out of line.
Yeah, Nino's lost both his end plates now, so he's most likely going to have to pit. He's going to be so slow. Monaco depends on having a wing, so he's just going to keep losing time if he doesn't pit. The gap behind him, Rocco Walsh, 18 seconds, so he's going to come out in P10 at least, just ahead of Felix. If he can not lose too much time on this lap, he'll be able to take mediums to the end from here, so that's most likely what he'll do.
That's true, and the gap now to Matthew and Lewis, 3.5 seconds. Gap to Bran and Lewis is 10.3, and as I just said, this is what I mean. Bran was completely nowhere near Lewis's pace, and look, it's already been proven. Gap 10.4 seconds. Nino picks up another 3-second penalty. I think he's going to retire in the pits. Excuse me, but I have a weird feeling he is. No, we'll send on board of Bran and Pedro then.
That's Rocco and Nino just pit there. So he'll come out. Actually, will he come out ahead of Felix? No, Nino's gonna come out in last. So he's lost too much time on that previous lap with that damage. And he's going to come out 2.5 seconds behind Logan Arend, who's right up the back of Felix now. You said that this might be a fight. They've both pit recently, so maybe they had an incident between them. On equal tyres, equal medium. Coming up into turn 6, Logan most likely won't be going for a move. I wouldn't take him for someone who would be too aggressive unnecessarily. He's going to stick behind Felix through turn 7 and 8 now. Can he get a good exit going into the tunnel to try and make a move maybe into the Nova chicane? No, he's just too far back now. Running so close to him in turn 3, but he's just lost it all now, and he's going to have to close back up through the swimming pool section.
Nice close battle we do have on track, and Nino will be catching up very quickly. Gap already 2 seconds between him and Logan, and Logan is looking to scrape some points on the board. I believe he has 0 points to his name. I could be wrong. Let's have a look. Logan is actually...
Yeah, he opens DRS.
Got 12 points.
He's going to close up in turn 1. If he can have a better exit, he seems to have taken the curb better.
Whoa, I see front wing damage on the track. Is that Mr. Rocco Walsh? It was a racing point. It is front wing damage. Rocco's got wing damage. So, Logan is looking for 2 valuable points right now, because Rocco will have to pit. There's no way that front wing is going to help, as Pedro's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pits as he goes into pit lane for his front wing to be replaced, and that's going to cost him for the end of this race.
It really is, and it's unfortunate there for Pedro to have picked up that damage. Was looking at a P3, but now he's going to come out certainly behind Ollie Flavel. As actually Santeri pits as well, so he'll come out in a comfortable P7, clean air, and he's going to have Ollie Flavel ahead of him. That's most likely the best he's going to salvage out of this race. Maybe he could catch up to Patrick, but even if he did, those mediums actually have been taking a while. Maybe Patrick's going to have to pit again. Yeah, Patrick has made 1 stop, but he's certainly going to have to pit again. Those tires, 15 laps old already. He's not going to take them another 20 laps.
And apologies for that. But yeah, you are right. Right now, Epic is literally all over Felix right now. But Santi Marino has pitted, as you've said. Did I just say Santi Marino? I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, I'm just losing the will today. Nino Ramnell then, in 12th place, has got massive front wing damage, Kevin. Has that been caused by that AlphaTauri? There's no
I'm
way.
sorry, I didn't quite hear the question, but I haven't seen any
Nino
recent...
has no front wing on the left side.
Oh, well, Santeri did pit to try and cover off Nino. I'm sure they came out in a fight, so I guess that's what happened there. Probably a fight between
Logan
them two, so
round the
we
outside to
already
turn
saw
one.
Santeri.
Oh, and Felix didn't give him enough room. Nino's called it a day. And safety car. That isn't because of Nino though. That is because of the incident with 10th, 9th and 8th. That is interesting, and if it gets reported, it will be looked
Rocco
into.
just pit onto hard, so he's gonna have to pit again.
No, I think that could be a good shout
to go back to mediums, because the hards will be too
track position
slow, and if he has the free stop, he's gonna use it.
Nah, but if he wants track position, it's a hard place to overtake. I'd go for the track position. If it's only one position, remember. Also, if Pedro pits, he's got a 5-second as well. So it just depends. Matthew, right now, is going to be a little bit robbed because he's missed the pit lane. Now, he's got a choice. Go on soft tyres and try and take them 20 laps. Go on mediums, go on them. Or go on hards. Or stay out. Because right now, he's in a prime position.
Matthew's in a not in a great position. Lewis, obviously, will probably pit regardless of whether Matthew does or not. He's got the gap to Brandon Glover. If Brandon doesn't pit, he's gonna, under safety car conditions, there's no way he'll lose that second. So Matthew will have to pit to cover off Lewis.
Actually, maybe Lewis might not. Lewis might stay out to try and get the car ahead. He doesn't really need a pit. But no, he is pitting.
No, he's pitting.
So he's in there.
Brandon Glover's not going to jump them. He's surely going to pit as well. But this brings both of them on level terms now. So this will be good for Lewis to at least have a proper fight after getting held up by Brand for so many laps. He's back in that P2. So as long as he gets a good restart, he may be able to challenge Matthew. Now, neither of them with pens.
And then there's Brand trying to freaking exploit the Delta. I caught you. Brand then has to completely stop the car. And Matthews then in 4th peels into the pits on a fresh set of mediums. Also, just confirmation, I won't be able to do interviews at all now, so that is unfortunate for this weekend. Restart was just a bit late.
I'm pretty sure I have a takeaway on the way anyway, so I wouldn't really be able to either.
Well, that is a shame then, but yeah, we'll go on board with our race leader, championship points leader as well. 3-time world champion, Mr. COG Blizzard, probably going to make it a 4th title. Maybe a 5th, unless, as Sparks said, he may be interested in doing a season. Could see a nice fight between those two, possibly. Maybe Matthew can do a bit of persuasive negotiations. But Matthew then, weaving his tyres on the mediums, he knows he's got what it takes now to win the Monaco race. But he has Lewis Curtis right behind him, with 2 lap cars just ahead of him, who will ghost when it begins. But I'm just going to keep an eye on this because they're getting a bit close to Matthew, and I don't know if they'll ghost if they go and hit Matthew's car. I hope they do ghost, because I don't want Matthew to get a penalty.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it or not, Jared. If you did, I apologise. But Brandon Glover's staying out on those hards. Everyone behind him pretty much pit. So he's going to be in a really bad position. 12 lap older tyres, yeah, and on the worst tyres.
Well, I did say actually, I said he was actually trying to exploit the safety car, because he instantly had to slow down that much. He had to stop the car. So yeah, Brand has made a massive mistake.
12 up old hordes will not be able to defend against
Rocco
fresh mediums.
Rocco stayed out as well. He's 9th.
Yeah, I think for Rocco though, he's more trying to catch up, him and Felix. You see the gap. If they pit, they'll never catch up to the safety car.
Well,
so
if they
looking
pit
at
now,
it, they're kind of trying to just get back to the grid, which they should be able to.
Yeah, but also they don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about the AlphaTauri or Logan, because they're a lap down. Matthew actually just got ahead of him in the pit lane, so Felix and Rocco got not let away with murder, but basically got another chance to try and catch up. And they've still got a chance. I think they've got one more lap before the safety car comes in. So, and the track's not that long, so I think the possibility of that happening is very high. So let's just wait and see as we do another lap.
I don't think I'll actually get confirmation for the safety car coming in because it doesn't even say that there's a safety car. It just has the full track being yellow, no like safety car in the top left like normal.
Great code.
Yeah, I've had this thing before, but the safety car is actually going to stay out, so they should be able to catch up. Might be an idea to pit now though, as they're much closer to the grid.
No.
Pitting I don't think would lose them enough time at all.
I don't know.
Easily catch back up.
It depends what Felix does. If Felix pits, and Felix actually also
Felix pit.
Felix has got no.
You'll see Felix will definitely catch up to the grid.
He also has a 3 second.
Only going through turn 2 now.
Yeah, Felix has to actually try and get his way through. He is on softs. Oh, he's not. Oh, excuse me. He's on medium tyres. Why is he going to
use mediums?
He could have gone softs to the end. Or did he not have a fresh set?
I don't know. It would be a stretch for softs. I'm pretty sure that the standard is to bring them to like lap 11, I think. Obviously they can go a lot longer, but I think the quickest way is to take them to lap 11 and then pit for hards or mediums. But I could just be completely wrong. But yeah, Felix coming out of turn 8 now. They're at the end of the straight, going through the Novo chicane. He'll easily catch back up. So you can see where Rocco gained 1 place, but has older tires and the slower compound.
Safety car is in this lap then, and you were right. Felix just had enough time. Let's see what then Mr. Blizzard can do. Will he have a good restart? Will he bottle the restart? Time will tell us. Logan has actually just a bit of time to. Hang on a minute. What's happened here? Where's Logan gone? Did he pit?
No, he's just in the middle of the pack, lapped.
Oh, okay. Well then, Matthew
Along
then begins his restart with Lewis Curtis in second place with Brandon all over the back of him. But Lewis isn't phased yet. He knows he can relax, take his time. He's on fresh mediums compared to Mr. Manlover, who's on hard tyres. With BRT Matthews in 4th, who's second in the Drivers' Championship. Still will be second, since he will be pulling away from Mr. Rocco Walsh, who's lonely in 8th place.
There's Ollie Flavel now trying to get past Logan Aaron. Logan Aaron trying to actually get a move on it, looks like. He doesn't seem to want to let these guys through. But he's going to have to eventually, otherwise he'll just be getting pins and they'll have no chance of catching back up.
Well, he can actually overtake him if he feels faster. And he might actually be faster, to be honest. I doubt it, but, you know, he could be. And he's just hiding his pace. If he wants to actually go for move, which he is doing, he is allowed to do that. But as long as it doesn't affect the driver. If it affects the driver and it's told him a couple more times, I see more wing damage.
Yeah, those blue flags have been shown to him now, though.
Hang on. Someone's got
damage.
damage.
For a while.
Oh no, I can't believe I'm seeing this. But Mr. Curtis has decided it's a good idea to bottle. Lewis Curtis has no front wing. Well, the end plates are completely gone. That's the damage what I saw in swimming pool. So that's Lewis's podium chances gone out the window, and that's a very high chance now for Matthews to take 3rd place. Who's look at this? And he's getting attacked. He's getting attacked by Matthews. Matthews is looking for a move. Literally on the back end of him. Matthews can see it. He's got a good traction there. Will he go for a dive? No, he doesn't. But look at Logan. He's just sending it through, saying thank you very much. Let me through.
Yeah, he's blasted.
That's how slow Bran is going. A person on automatic gears, a person who was a lap down, is faster than him. Bran, I think it's time to retire the car. You know, I think Matthews will be overtaking you. And just look at the speed. Look at that.
Turn 8. He's got so much more over speed. He's going to go on the outside for the Novo chicane. He's going to try and keep it there. Brandon squeezes him out. So slow on the exit from Brandon. Those hard tires not doing him any favours. Going through what is turn 11, I think, through to the swimming pool section. He's going to be able to park the bus here. a slight overtaking opportunity into Raskas, but he's not gone for it just yet. A good exit out of here, maybe into Sandevot for him. Faz is going to be watching these two and going to pick up the scraps, I'm sure. Going into turn 1, Matthews closes up, but he's not going to be able to make an overtake. Going up the hill now towards turn 3, it looks like he's just too far back, and Brandon's going to stay there for another lap.
Well, not 25 out of 39. This race needs to end quickly though, because it will be cutting it close. And he makes a mistake there, Bran. It's now Bran starting to feel the bottle pressure, and literally he's just going snail pace. A grandparent in one of those mobility scooters can go faster than Bran right now. What is Bran doing? Literally, just start picking up the pace, use your ERS, and pull away. Don't literally just park a bus.
If you're saying you have to start going at like quarter to, do you?
Well, if this race don't finish at 10 to quarter to, I will have to like spectate somebody and say on them.
Well, yeah, because thinking about that, then like I'm already signed into the IRL account, so I could pick up from where you left off if you need to go.
I'll just be on standby for that then, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Just this restart was a bit like, and because the race was late, because of the actual Bahrain race, which I still didn't agree with. But I've got to agree what I've got to read. So Matthews then ready to attack Bran for a second try. Lewis gets the
fastest lap of the race pretty easily, so he's going to be taking an extra point.
Ooh, and he taps Bran again. Bran is going so slow through there. And Matthews just, oh, he's just been hit by Pedro, and now Patrick just hit Pedro. You can just see Bran is literally doing a TRL limitless, just messing up his braking points. Matthews is a lot faster, and you can just easily see this, Kevin. When do you think possible overtake will be for Matthews then to overtake Bran if Bran keeps making these low errors?
Kind of looks the most likely is going to be turn 3 at Massenet, I think. Going into Sandevot, I think that if he has a good exit, he can stick with him, close up, and then if he has a good exit out of turn 1, which it looks like so far what I have just said is happening, he's going to have a better exit, he's going to have the better tires as well, to just be a little bit closer. Now he's going to have to use overtake into here, I think, maybe around the outside. If he tries to hang around the outside and then go for the inside of turn 4, I think that's probably his best bet, because it doesn't look like there's anywhere else that's possible. Maybe out of turn 8 if he gets a better exit, but it doesn't look like that's been happening. Really, it looks like kind of difficult to follow a car through these two, this double right-hander. So I think that it's most likely going to have to be turn 4, maybe into the Novo chicane if he can close up enough, as he did actually have an overtaking opportunity a few laps ago. We saw Brandon shut that down pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, Matthews though has plenty of ERS, exactly the same as Bran, so he could use his ERS a little bit in that tunnel just to gain a little bit, because he has the straight line speed. Looks like he has the aero advantage. So right now, Bran, I don't think he'll be holding second place for much longer.
Yeah, he's much closer now. Matthews going into turn 1, he's not going to be going for a dive, he's going to stick it, brake earlier, get the turn in and try and get a better exit. Now he's going to, he's not actually using overtake.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, he's not using it. This is how slow Bran is going. Honestly, it's like it's watching Turbo, like that snail thing or whatever it's called. Like, I think Bran just needs to.
Why not? Like, I mean, like Brandon doesn't have a pen, neither does Matthews. Like, this is for position. Matthews needs to make this overtake eventually, but he's not using his overtake.
Brand's not using it either. Brand's
that's even more the reason.
Oh,
hang on. Uses a bit of overtake.
Here it is. Here's the overtake now. Here comes Matthews. Will he make the move? Going around the outside. Bran almost closes the door.
Can he get a better exit out of turn 11?
Hits him. Still can't make it work. This is why the cars need to be smaller, like the 08 to 2010 to 2012 era. Bring them cars back and we'll have interest in racing, because these cars are just too wide to make an overtake around here. Or make a new Monaco track.
Or just get rid of Monaco.
All that.
But now actually, he's not using overtake though. So he's not going to be able to make an overtake into Sandervoort out of turn 1. He's much closer. If he just uses a bit of overtake, this is it's the most safest overtaking opportunity on the track. It kind of guarantees that no one really gets damage. It's quite wide compared to most of the corners on this track, so a little bit of overtake. Oh, and he's actually hit Brand there. Obviously, Brandon braking a lot earlier on those much more worn hard tires. As you can see how slow he's going. Does he actually have damage there? No, he doesn't. Neither of them do.
He's lucky he hasn't got wing damage. That was completely Brand's fault, that braking too early. He's changing his brake. I've noticed Brand now, like the past couple of laps, he keeps changing his braking zones. Now I understand, yeah, he's on 20 lap old hards. He needs to brake a little bit early, but not that early. You can easily make that, especially when people on mediums who their tyres wear a bit faster or on 12 and they're not braking that that early, if you know what I mean. So I think it's just a game plan for Brand right now, just to hold the position, and it isn't really working. Because look at the gap from him and Matthew. Matthew could pit and go on soft tyres. Oh my God.
Matthews obviously is. Oh, he's actually gotten much better exit. He's into turn 1, into Sandervoort. He's going to squeeze him out on the exit, and this time he's going to be able to make the move. Pedro sells a right up the back of him as well. He's not been able to do it. Brandon uses a little bit of overtake to try and close back up to Matthews. That hasn't worked for him, and Matthews finally makes that overtake. So he's in to P2, and he's going to be able to limit the damage that Matthews' win is going to do, because there's no way Matthews is losing this race win. He could pit and come out and get the fastest lap if he wanted.
Touch wood. But yeah, you're right there. And do you know what the worst thing was about that overtake? Cody's didn't give me the best camera angle, so I missed part of it.
I had a quite nice one, to be honest.
So Brand then, next target is Pedro. Pedro has a penalty though. He has, if I remember correctly, he has 5 seconds, which won't be removed because he's sped in the pits. So he needs to pass him and do a 5-second gap. 1 lap 31 out of 39.
Ollie Flavel on the back of this train. Actually, Felix Neguar and Lewis back. This train is bigger than I thought it was. I didn't actually realise that this train went down to P9 of Rocco Walsh, but it did. Everyone actually following quite closely together. Lewis Curtis is going around the outside of Felix Neguar just before turn 1, and he makes that place up. He's into P7.
Literally, this is how slow Brand's going. He's already lost almost 2 seconds in a lap. Pedro could just easily get past him and build that 5-second gap if Brandon's legit going this slowly. And look how much ERS Pedro's got compared to Brand.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon takes the hairpin purposely slower to try and make the people behind him, like, their exits just a little bit worse. So onto this straight, you can see the gap just gets a little bit bigger. So he is playing this quite tactically, you know, using his car as a kind of, he's placing it well. He's using the throttle where he needs to, backing off a little bit where it helps. So he is doing quite a good job to keep this P3 right now. Obviously, it is a net P3. He is fighting for this position right now, and the 2 guys behind him also at pens. So he is looking good for this P3. But obviously, it would be so much easier for him to defend if he just pit with everyone else, because everyone else did. He just stayed out.
Safety car. Logan's out. Oh, you're kidding me. Why?
Well, I'm sure Matthew Alder is going to pit now. He's got a 27-second gap, and it's under safety car. He won't lose P1 by hitting onto softs.
Oh. Well, do you want to get your second part ready? Because now with the safety car, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to get the last bit.
Yeah, I'll start it now.
Well then, this has been IRL Neon. As you come to, we'll unfortunately have to go. Kevin will take over and do his amazing job as he always does. And you guys can see the final couple of laps on the second part of the stream. So
season 9 of yep.
Tell me when it's all
up. Start.
By the way, it's up. Good. Right. Well, I'll see you guys next time, and have a good race.